It's a continuous to the part one, which was discussed earlier. So here we are going to learn the finance basic configurations, and it will be a great helpful for the freshers who are jumping into an SAP, and also helpful for the people who are currently working on ECC and just heard about S4 HANA finance and all. So for them, it will be great helpful. Okay, so then to continue the same topic. So here we have stopped at uh, document posting keys. Now we'll continue on the ledger one. So on the ledgers, so you will see there is a parallel approach and the parallel accounting. So here this is very important for us for defining a accounting principles. So there are as we are going with the approach of multiple company codes, right? So we'll be going slowly. We'll be building. Currently, we are building Tata Motors India, and we are planning to do Tata Motors US as well as Tata Motors UK. Okay, so first focus will be focusing on Tata Motors India, and we'll try to fix everything on the Tata Motors India. If it looks good and everything works fine, then migrate all the templates, whatever Tata Motors India we build to a Tata Motors US with a minor changes, then we'll move to Tata Motor UK. Okay, then in that case, so this is and the base for my balance sheet and the financial statement will be India, right? So because Tata Motors, the base country is India, so I will be using a local gap so that I need to publish the report for India at a Indian accounting level. Okay, so for that, I need to create a accounting principles, so which are specific to Indian accounting standards. So for US, you will see US specific standard, and UK, you will see different standard. But for US also and UK also, if you want to publish the reports in the Indian accounting standard, as a Tata Motors owners, they wanted to see Tata Motors US as well as a Tata Motor UK in the Indian format. So in that case, we need to convert this two countries reports into a non-leading ledger reports where we'll get a proper transactions. Okay, so for Indian accounting principles, what we will do is we will build a accounting principle. Let's say for India, we have anything standard. We'll use that, or else we'll create a new one better for us. So just click on new entries, Tata Motors, Indian accounting principles. Okay, so this is done. After that, we'll go to our ledgers, go to define currency types. No issues. Somebody is logged this script. So by the time they come up out of this script, we'll define something else. We'll go to general ledger accounting. Under general ledger accounting, we have a master data. Under master data, we have preparation. Under preparation, we have a edit chart of account list. So we'll create a chart of account. Go and create a chart of account. So what is the use of this chart of account? So chart of account. So under chart of account, we will have it is the head of the your accounting groups or a head of your accounts, all the accounts. So for example, you are going to create expense related accounts. You are going to create sales related accounts. You are going to create assets related account and also liability related account or additional groups will be there. So all these groups will be a part of chart of account. So we are going to create all these groups under a chart of account. Yeah. Along with that, in expense also, are we going to create additional groups also? There are some organizations follows operational expenses, other expenses. So there are different types of groups they are creating. So this will also comes under your chart of account. Okay. Then what else? So let's say an example. There is a expense. So under expenses, operational expenses. So let's say under operational expenses also, you are going to create insurance GL. I'm just giving an example, insurance GL. So that insurance GL is like 4000 400. So this is my insurance GL. Then there is my one more operational expenses is advertisement. So for that, I will create one more GL. Okay. So these are all comes under your chart of account. Okay. So here there are three types of chart of accounts are available in SAP or there in SAP. So first we'll understand what is operational chart of account. What is operational chart of account? So operational chart of account is something. So for example, let's say you have incurred 4,000 insurance related charges or something. So that charges you are going to book, right? So that charges you are going to book under operational chart of account. So any transactions which we are going to do, all the transactions you are going to do under operational chart of account. Along with that, you will also see here there is a group chart of account. So group chart of account means sometimes organizations do follow for all these company codes, right? So we have company code India, we have company code US, we have company code UK. So they are saying that instead of creating a separate GL accounts for insurance for advertisement, so they as a high level authority like high level organizations, CEOs or CFOs, so they don't want to see or they there is a requirement. It can be a legal requirement or it can be a specific requirement. They wanted to see these two GLs to be merged as a single GL account. Just an example, I'm saying it can be a 1-to-1 ratio, 1:1 issue, like one operational chart of account you will create, and this GL mapping to a group chart of account will be 1:1. And there might be a possibility that these two GLs can be combined to one GL of the group chart of account. So let's say there is a GL. Okay, so there is a group GL account which calculate, this is a group GL account, and for that they are dedicated, this is a GL account. So whatever the expenses you are posting to this GL account, and this GL account will be moved to 4000 group GL account. Okay, so this is not mandatory. This we create only when there is a requirement of a client or a business. So operational chart of account is enough to book any expenses. So whatever the expenses you book under operational chart of account, let's say you have booked 1000 here, and here you have booked 200. So in group chart of account, if there is a one-to-one relationship, so it will be separate GL accounts you will create, and separate GL group GL accounts will have a 1000 amount and 2000 amount. But in this case, it's a n is to 1, right? These two GL accounts are linked to this one group chart of account, group GL, right? So in that case, what will happen is, so the total of 1200, so 1000 plus 1200 will show up here. So this kind of transactions also we need to showcase to the business. So in that case, SAP has given a group chart of account. So you need to build one group chart of account by filling all the description, chart of account, what will be the language and what will be the length of your group GL account. And the thing is that you cannot post any transaction to group GL account. It will be coming from your operational chart of account. So the source of putting all the information will be your operational chart of account, and from there only it will come to your group chart of account. So we'll slowly learn what is group chart of account, but at a high level I am just providing the information. So we just basically need is a operational chart of account to post any transactions. So this is group chart of account, and there is one more requirement that business might have a country specific requirement. So for that, SAP has provided country chart of account. Let's say an example in India, there is no specific requirement. Example, this is just an example. Like insurance, I have created 4000, 400, 440s, 4000 account. And for advertisement, I have created this GL account. And what is the length of the GL account we have taken as 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so total 9-digit length we have taken. But UK, as per the, just an example, as per the UK requirement, there is a law in force saying that for the accounting standard, so they are saying that they need a 8-digit accounts. Okay, if they need 8-digit accounts, what we have to do is, so we have country chart of accounts that will fulfill their requirement. So what will be we can do is, so copy these transactions. I mean, you will be creating a separate group or a country chart of account here. You will be creating a separate country chart of account with the same details to fulfill their requirement. Just give me a second. Not sure what is the issue. Hope this time it works. Yeah. Let's say I created two GL accounts for operational chart of account. We'll take the same example. Insurance, the GL account is 4000 and 400. And for advertisement, I have created a GL account as 40004001. So these are the two GL accounts I have created, but this is just for operational chart of account and it will be used for all the company codes. So all the company codes means we have Tata Motors India, we have Tata Motors US, we have Tata Motors UK. Okay, so all these three company codes for our operational chart of account will have the same GL account. But there is a specific requirement came from a US saying that they want only 8 digit GL account. Okay, that is fine. So for that UK based company code, we'll create a 8 digit account. And also they are saying that for expense GL always should start with 6. Okay, that is also possible. So what we are going to do is, so we'll give the same number is equal to 6. It will be discussed with in detail with the business, like how many length and everything which we need to discuss. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so likewise we will be creating a GL accounts or under a group chart of account or a country chart of account, not group chart of account, under country chart of account to fulfill the requirement of the business. Are we going to post any transactions here? No, we are not going to post any transactions. We are going to post all the transactions into these GL accounts only. This is my operational GL account, operational chart of GL account, operational chart of account. Okay. So under this operational chart of GL account, I am going to post my transactions and by default, it will replicated into my country chart of accounts or a country specific GL account. So there are three chart of accounts we can create so that we saw. So so group chart of account define here. So where do I define my country chart of account? So country chart of account also you have to define here only. There is no way where we can define. So group chart of account, operational chart of account, and the country chart of account you are going to define here. And then let's say an example. We'll take the standard one just for our understanding purpose. So like this, you are going to assign your group chart of account to the your operational chart of account. Okay, so this is how you have assigned. And then if I want to assign a country specific chart of account, so that is also possible. There is a assignment option here. So here you go and you see people have attached country chart of account here. So standard, it's a country chart of account 90 is been assigned. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah. So here you will see this is your alternative chart of account, right? So this alternative chart of account is nothing but your country chart of account, and this is your uh, company code. Your company code is been assigned to this particular chart of account. So if we see here for us, Tata Motors India, so currently it is blank. It will be blank. So we will create one chart of account, that is operational chart of account, and we'll assign our chart of account here. Then the country chart of account, which I by mistakenly mentioned as here, so that has to be assigned here. So your country chart of account will come here. For example, just for a time being, I'm using this standard one, and I want to use country chart of account as something else like INT or something. So this is how we can assign the country chart of account. So COA is here what you see alternative COA, that is nothing but a country chart of account. So this is how you can you need to assign your chart of accounts. So first we'll create our chart of accounts. Create operational chart of account. Group chart of account will slowly create, and the country chart of accounts will slowly create once we get into a multiple company codes. Currently our focus will be to create a India specific and test everything is working fine. So here I will say Tata Motors operational chart of account. So we have mentioned Tata Motors operational chart of account. Language will be English, and the length of the GL account. So we need to check with business what will be the length of the accounts you want. So let's say we'll go with 10 digits. Group chart of account will do it later. As of now, we'll not do it, and save. So we have created our chart of account, and this chart of account we will assign it to our company code. Go to position, Tata Motors India, and give the chart of account, Tata Motors operational chart of account, and save it. Okay, then the next thing is we need to define a accounting group. So accounting groups are nothing but the thing which we have already discussed. So that are the accounting groups which we are going to create, like expense, liabilities, assets, like that. So these are the groups, and here our learning purpose will take a very simple example: asset, liability, and expense and sales. Okay, so expense and income. So that kind of transactions we are going to create, and then we'll be assigning that to our chart of account. So here, this is a chart of account. This is a account group. So you can give any small or a 4-digit group here, and what will be your number ranges for the GL accounts which you are going to create. So here we need to give the GL account range. So I'm just checking the, yeah, anything which can be copied for ourselves. Yeah, you can create your own. Yeah, that is better. We'll create our own instead of checking for this one. Okay, my chart of account will be Tata Motors operational And I am going to create assets, liability, and expense, income, and secondary GL account. This secondary concept I will explain when we are going to a controlling area. Liability, expense, income, and secondary. Here we need to give the range. So let's say I will give a range of, so all my asset GL accounts will be created under this. See, in real scenario under asset, you will not have a asset as a one group. You will have a banking as one group, then you will have a fixed asset, then you will have a cash GL group, then you will have a tax specific group. So like that, you will be having 10, 15 groups, subgroups for asset itself. So all these things you can, you need to discuss with business. When I call business, it is a customer. So we need to discuss with them and maintain as per their requirement. Under liability also long-term liability, short-term liability, loans, general shareholding capital, all this will come under liability group. So I am just taking as a liability, but in real scenario, this can be high. Copy this and always be specific to a range. So all my expense accounts I am going to create, liability account I am going to create with a two series. All my asset accounts I am going to create with a one series. So this will help business too. By looking at the GL account itself, they will come to know, yeah, these are all my expense. So in the reporting part also, they will get a better option to get the reports. Just give a range of specific GL. I just wanted to see the expense report. So I will give a range from 40 to 499. So I will get my expense related transactions. So this is how I have created my GL accounts. Save this one, come out of this one. I'm just validating others also. See, like here, they have interest, fixed asset, depreciation, yeah, administration code, administration. So this kind of GL accounts you can, means groups you can create and you can assign the transactions. Okay, now then we have a retain earning account. So your chart of account we already created, Tata Motors operational, give that here, mark it as X or any symbol, and give your retain earning account here. So I'm going to give a best number, VIP number for my retain earning account just for practice purpose and save it. So this we need to get it from a business when we are discussing with the business, like what is your retain earning account, how you are going to transfer your retaining earning account and everything. So just press enter and save it. So to give you little background of what is retain earning account, right? So let's say we'll go with the year 2023 two. So my rent has the balance of 2000. My insurance has balance of 4000. Okay, and my sales has balance of 6000. Not 6000. I will mark it as 7000. Okay. So it's a minus 7000 sales. The net profit which we made. So these are my expenses, right? These are all my expenses. Rent we have 2000 and insurance we have 4000. Against that, I brought the sales of 7000. So my expenses are 6000. My sales is 7000. So I got a profit of 1000. Okay, so I got the profit of 1000. So this 1000 account, what we will do is we will not keep it under P&L account. So whatever I am explaining now is about profit and loss statement or P&L accounts. Okay, so this 1000 which is coming as a net revenue of 1000 will be moved to liability side general reserves under retained earning account. Okay, so this will be moved to a retained earning account. Retained earning account is nothing but it will bring every year P&L statement balances to next year. So what will happen in the year 2023? So yes, once these transactions are moved to retained earning account, so your retained earning account will show a 1000 balance now under liability side. Okay. Now what will happen in the next year? So this transactions beginning of the year it will show as a zero. It will also show as a zero. So whatever the expenses you have incurred in the complete year, let's say in the complete year 2023, you have incurred rent of 10,000, insurance of 7,000, 7,000, and your total sales is of 15,000. So this year, I am just taking very few GLs, but in real scenario, you have to take all the GL sales or all the expenses like salaries, everything. So what has happened this year in 2023 is we made a loss of 2000. So again, so this year we made loss of 2000, right? So this 2000 will move to retained earning account and it will sum of all the total amounts from all the years. So this is how the retained earning account every year end it will move the net balances of P&L to a retained earning account. So for that reason we have to build this setting and save this. Okay, this is done. Then we have business transactions. Business transactions. Under business transactions, we have a document splitting concept. Under document splitting, so we need to assign the classified GL account for document splitting. So what is document splitting in SAP? So there are three types of document split. We'll explain in a separate video what is active split, zero balance split, passive split, and everything. So just for our training purpose, we'll not go into much details because you will get bored of theoretical parts more because we like to see everything in the system. So active split, passive split, zero balance split. So I will not get into a much details of everything, but I will make a separate video for document splitting. So what is the requirement of a document splitting? Just an example I will give. So I went to a Apple store or maybe a business. We'll go to a business scenario. So Tata Motors has purchased from a Apple worth 2 lakh. So for this 2 lakh, they brought one Mac for 1,50,000. Okay, and they brought one iPhone for 40,000. Maybe like iPhone 6 or something. They brought for 40,000. And taxes they incurred on this one is 10,000. So they incurred 10,000 taxes, right? So here they basically they get a single transaction saying that 10,000 taxes are posted. So when we enter any transactions, so a user has entered 10,000 as a tax. So in that case, SAP has the capability of dividing the tax amount as per the amount. So when we run a report for a Mac specific cost center or anything or see this Mac, whatever the laptop or a PC we purchased is going to be booked under some of the cost centers. So when we run that cost center, so it will bring that particular percentage of tax to this specific Mac, like 1500 or something. Let's say here for Mac, they have a tax of, I will make it as very simple so that will not have a confusion. Or else I need to do many calculations. So I'm just going with the simple calculations now. So Apple, we have a 1,22,000 from a vendor, 1,22,000 we have purchase of which 1,50,000 is for Mac and 50,000 is for. So in that case, SAP is smart enough to send this 15,000 tax to this Mac and this 5,000 tax to this iPhone. So based upon the amount, it can divide or when we do any transactions like this is done, right? So this is one kind of document splitting, and there are many other document splittings like where a cost center, for example, let's say this is how the amount is been derived, right? Okay, so this is how SAP is smart enough to divide the taxes. Okay, so this cost center, now we'll forget about this tax amount for a time being. Okay. Okay, so now let's say 1,50,000 is your Mac is being used by HRT, and here it is being used by your sales team. Okay, iPhone is being used by sales team and it is being used by HRT. So this is your cost centers, HR cost center, and this is your sales cost center. Okay, so these cost centers are there, right? So when I run the report, now we'll again go to the tax. Now a tax, I will mention 20,000 and I will mention 22,000. So when I run a report for the HR, so it will give me 1,500 here. When I am running a report for HR, so it will give me this 1,50,000 plus a specific like 15,000 which is related to tax also bring this from a tax. So it will divide this amount into a 15,000 per HR and 5,000 for sales. So you don't need to book a tax transaction by dividing your HR, this is the amount, and sales, this is the amount it will go. So system will do your for you. So you just need to put the 20,000 and system will, whenever you run HR report, it will by default take as 15,000 for HR and 5,000 for sales. So you don't need to mention all these transactions. So this is how the document splitting help. Will go into a much details, zero split, passive split, active split with an example. But this is how SAP works. So now here we just need to give a GL accounts here. So what are the GL accounts which we are going to use? So this is a range second three. I will put it as 4. You can give one GL to GL also. You can give a range also here for document splitting activity. So this is my balance sheet account. I will select this one. And for liability also, like 2 series we have created as a liability and 1,000 we have created at a 1 series we have created as a assets. So 4 series we have created as a expense. So we'll select expense, and 3 series we have created as a revenue. So we'll select revenue for 3 series and save this one. So we can check activity documents, activate document splitting here. So this is a standard configurations which SAP by default will give. So you can cross check and the settings are okay or not. If you don't want to use document splitting, so you can deactivate here. So that document splitting will not be done for that specific company code. And this is one more important thing. So here we need to mention like at what level you want to do a document splitting. So it can be, there are many options which SAP has given. Like you can do a document splitting at a profit center level or a segment level or a business area level. So this is not a mandatory step. When you give profit center, so it will look for a profit center for each and every transaction. So without profit center, it will not allow you to post any transaction. So or else you need to create a dummy entry like dummy profit center where it can be taken. You forgot to mention any profit center, and it will take the cost center as a default and post a transaction. So it's based upon their requirement. Business says that, yeah, I need profit center in every transaction. So in that case, you have to select that profit center or a segment, everything. Okay, so we'll go with blank. So we have done GL specific transactions. Now we'll go to our ledger. Earlier it was blocked by someone. So let's see if it is free or not. Yeah. So we'll go to 0L ledger and we'll create our company code. We'll check our company code here. Go to position, Tata Motors India. Okay, just come back. Come back from the screen because we have done many configurations. Sometimes what happens is it's a test system, right? So in the test system, it will not show up. Let me check. Did I open somewhere? Oh, nowhere we have opened nothing. Okay, let me go to SPRO path again. Reference IMG. In real scenario, you will not face this kind of issues because this is a test environment or a training servers. So you might face this kind of challenges. Financial ledgers, define currency types. Okay, select this one and go to company code settings, center. Try to look for our company code Tata Motors India. Yeah, you can see now. So that is what happens with the training servers. You don't worry. So you just need to do a refresh, like get out of that screen and then come again. So just double click on it. So you will see here whatever the earlier configurations, like we said, like V3 we are going to use for our fiscal year variant, and posting period variant we are using DP1. And accounting principle, we have created one accounting principle for Tata Motors India, right? So this accounting principle we will give it here. So we'll define this accounting principle in this particular step. Click on new entries, Tata Motors India, and save this one. So these are all students who are practicing are not done this configuration properly. So maybe that reason it is showing up warning messages. Save this one. Okay. Okay, so we captured under this, and here I just want to give a brief explanation of this fiscal year and everything is coming from what we have. So this transaction is coming from a company code where we have built. So where we said like India is our INR. For India, we have set. So if I want to show the transactions where it is coming from. So this is my transactions. If you remember, like in the part one, we have covered this one, Tata Motors India. So here I have given currency as INR, right? So it's coming from that particular transaction to here. So 10 is nothing but company code currency. So that is calling from there. And these are all we have assigned. So there are different types of currencies which we have here. So these are the SAP standard ones. So wherever you see currencies 0, 10, 20 till 70, these are all SAP given currency types. And wherever you see starting with Y or a Z, always whenever you see anything or you want to create anything new or you will see anything starting with Y or a Z, these are all additional transactions created by a user for a specific requirement. Okay, so these are all SAP standard. So I never created a new currency types for any organization in my experience. So whatever the currency types SAP has given are enough. So in these currency types, there are two categories has been divided. One is company specific, other one is without a company specific. So these are all grayed out, right? So wherever you see grayed out, so you don't need to do a settings specific to company code. By default, it will come from a somewhere. Like in this case, 10, right? So for 10, we have done the settings here. Okay, so there is no need of we go and do a separate settings, and it will be coming reading that currencies transactions. Okay, so it will come from here. Whatever the currencies are there, it will come from here and it will read. So like that. So document currency. So document currency, we don't need to give it because whatever the transactions which we are going to post, whatever the transactions which we are going to post, India might purchase some materials or something. Tata Motors India might purchase some motors or an engine from Japan. So in that case, they are saying that pay us in Japanese currencies, right? Yen or something. So in that case, what will happen is, so we have to post the transaction in JYP transaction. So that at the time of posting, we define that. And in controlling area currency, you define the currency in controlling. So wherever you see this checkbox, right? So if you see this checkbox means you have to assign your company code to this currency types. So the assignment of a company will happen here. So for example, I want to assign any that currency type 3040. I need to click on new entry and I need to give my country here, and the 30 is INR or something, whatever currency. So by default 30 is a group currency here set as INR. So 40, 50. So based upon the settings, index currency or a hard currency, based upon the settings, it will come up. Okay, so these are group currencies, and group currencies, how where you are going to define, like I am saying this 10, 20 are my group currencies, right? So global currencies. So global currencies we define here 10, 20, 70. So these are the standard ones. So you will see for the 10, 20, 30, 70, it's grayed out. Zero is transactional currency. So when you post the transactions, so that time it will come. So it grayed out and by default it will come. And you might ask why different currencies are there. I will separately make a video on all these currencies. Like this is at the time of transaction posting. You will add. This is coming from a company code controlling area currencies. So you have the option of putting different currencies. For example, let's say for India, you are using INR, but SAP provides you the flexibility in if you select this controlling currency 20, so you can add your own currency like JYP or a UR or a USD. So group currency you basically set at a client level. So that is applicable for all the company codes, all the countries. So group currency. So here in this case for us it's set up as INR. So this will be applicable for all the company codes, and hard currency and the index currencies are will be set up at a country level settings. So index and the hard currencies are set up at a country level setting. So if uh, any currencies which is second currencies, for example, for India, we have a hard currency like USD. So you can set up hard currency as USD. So because after INR, we do most of the business in USD, right? So in that case, you can build hard currency as a INR and index currency. Index currency is something. There are few countries. Just an example, I'm not sure, but I'm just guessing. There are few currencies like Zimbabwe or something. So if they try to give their currencies to any, for example, if India want to, uh, Zimbabwe is purchasing something from India. Let's say an example, something they are purchasing Tata Motors and something. So in that case, Zimbabwe currency has a very inflation wise, they have a very less growth or a we can call it or a less uh, valuation we can call it as. So in that case what India will do is they will means to do their business, so Zimbabwe will take their currency as a USD. So all the additional transactions and everything they do it in USD. So in that case all their business happens in USD with the other countries. I will get back on this one, but this is something kind of like that only. So when their own currency don't have the much valuation, in that case, they can use index. And global currency is something which is coming from a company. Company is a trading partner, so you have to define here. And controlling object is it is specific to a controlling area. For example, let's say you have put your group currency as a controlling area currency. So in that case, you also have the option of putting a object currency. So object currency is a different currency which is being used for controlling area. So along with your group currency, you can also see the transactions in object currencies. So this is something related to currencies. Now we'll come to, let me say this one. Yeah. Yeah. So here you see this is coming from company code settings, and here global currency will come from controlling area setting. So when we do controlling settings, so at the time you will see that global setting is also available. So these are the two additional two currencies which by default will get it. Along with that, SAP has given 8 additional currencies. So for that 8 additional currencies, you have to do the setting under currency setting in company code, and you have SAP has given you 8 additional currencies. So if you want to put any additional currency, you can add here. But uh, I almost work for almost 12, 13 clients. All of them are related to international, but I never added more than 3 currencies. 3 currencies are enough because it will be very difficult for them to manage uh, transactions and everything. It's very difficult. So 3 currencies are basically enough. Mostly in 3 currency also there will have a local currency, and these 2 currencies are almost similar, or maybe local currency and the global currency is similar and predefined currency will be different. that is for a local requirement or something. Mostly three currencies are enough. Okay, so SAP has given you 8 additional currencies. It's up to us to use. And then if you want to add anything on the asset accounting side, so for the asset accounting, SAP as of now has given only three currencies option. So that is one thing which we have to be very sure. Like if we are maintaining 8 additional currencies for a GL specific, but there is a drawback that in asset accounting you cannot go with 8 currencies. Sorry, three currencies, more than three currencies. So always be specific and explain to the clients. Like asset accounting, we have only three currencies. So this is how the currency settings will happen. Now we'll go to a controlling settings. So now quickly go close this one, and now we'll go to a controlling area settings, general ledger accounting, and go to organizations, maintain controlling area. Here we need to maintain controlling area. Click here. So somewhere I only lock this one. Okay, now click on new entries and give controlling area for you. So here there is one important thing is, so we are going with Tata Motors India. Again, I'm repeating the same words. Sorry for that. Tata Motors US. I'm going with Tata Motors UK. So these are the three company codes over the period we are going to build. Currently, we are going with Tata Motors India. So as there are two additional countries also there, so should I create separate controlling area? No, it is always best practice is to create a single controlling area for all the company codes, unless and until business comes and says that we need a separate controlling area, because it's very difficult to maintain controlling area for all the three company codes. Then again you have to merge all these three company codes report, again lot of additional reports we have to build. Okay, so we'll create a Tata Motors controlling area. Tata Motors, and here SAP provides you two options, allow cross company codes or a controlling area same as company code. Cross company code, cost accounting we have to select. So it will allow you to add additional uh, company codes. So currency type will go with a group currency. So always it is recommended approach to go with a group currency instead of going with 20 currencies, which is specifically you can define your own currency. So always group currency, and make sure that with the basis team they have set up the client level currency also. And the other one is chart of account. So these three countries we are going to use, right? So for them, we are going to use a single chart of account, that is which we already created, Tata Motors operational chart of account. At the beginning of this lecture, we discussed that one, operational chart of account. So we'll assign this operational chart of account. Yeah. So if you want to assign all these three company codes to a single controlling area, it is mandatory to have a single chart of account for all the three company codes. So at a localization level, you can create your own country specific chart of accounts and do your reporting. But for a controlling area, it is mandatory. So you have to go with single chart of account. And here also fiscal year, we have set as V3. So all these three company codes, we are going to set my fiscal year variant as V3. Even though I know like for US it is going to be a Jan to December, and for UK it is going to be a let's say June to July, or July to June. Okay. So for anything, still SAP recommends that for controlling area, if you want to assign multiple company codes, your fiscal year should be same. Means V3 means all the company codes are going to use April to March financial year. So now how I can go and achieve my US specific goals or a UK specific goals. For that, you need to use a non-leading ledger. So where you will define your specific to your company of that particular local requirement. So for a high level, you have to give same to all the company codes. And standard hierarchy, I will give standard hierarchy as Tata Motors cost. So this is my standard hierarchy, and I will save this one. Yes, it is asking it's not created. Yeah, that is fine. Press enter. Okay. Now after this, we'll go to activate components and click on new entries and give the fiscal year. If your HR is the HR employees of very old one, so try to give the fiscal year from that period. So I will start with 2022. So for example, somebody has the last joined employees of 2010, so try to give 2010. So we will not get a HR specific related errors, and try to activate all of them. So order management, everything. So you can activate all. There is no harm if we are not using. This profitability analysis and the margin analysis will be activated when we activate COPA. And then click on assign company code, click on new entries, give your company code and save it. So these are all critical transactions. So we have to discuss properly with the business, or else will be a issue for us. So we have to take approvals on our emails or through a process which is defined from a business. So what we are doing and how we are going to doing and how we are going to achieve all this. Okay. So I will go out of this screen. Let's check whether our controlling area has been created or not. Yeah, it's created. And also check company code is assigned or not. Yeah, it's there. So after that, once the controlling area setting is done, we need to maintain a number ranges for controlling area. So here also you can use the standard and copy it to, these are specific to controlling area number ranges. So we are copying it from a standard to our controlling area and save it. So once that is done, we need to maintain a versions. So maintain versions. Copy this version 0. It's a standard version which SAP has given. So this can be used for your, in controlling we do a planning or actual cost. So for example, let's say version 0. So version 0, I am planning per rent. I am going to spend 1 lakh this year. Per salary, per salary, I am going to spend 5 lakhs this year. So this is my plan. So against that, the actuals. So whenever we make a payment for that rent authority or someone, so but in actually I have spent totally 90,000 this year. So this is how we can plan. This is version 0, and you can have one more version like A, B, C. So where you can maintain rent as 2 lakhs, and you can cross verify that spending as per, and salary also I said like 5,000, and but unfortunately this year it has happened, instead of 5,000 we spend like 6,000, sorry, 5 lakhs. We have spent like 6 lakhs. So means either I have done planning wrong, or maybe I need to rectify this to next year I will rectify this for 6 lakhs. Or this is version, and you can create a number of versions. So in one version you can salary as 5,000, 5 lakhs. In other version you can mark it as 7,000, 7 lakhs. So based upon the requirement, so you can plan and you can maintain the values, and against that you can cross verify your actuals. So you will be maintaining plan and you will be verifying with actual expenses. So for that reason you need to copy this plan version standard to your controlling area. Your controlling area is TMCO. Select this setting and click on each fiscal year and save this one. So automatically SAP will take next 5 years. If you want, you can add more years. If you don't want, you can delete, not an issue. So for this year it is important is 2023. For next year onwards we don't it will automatically take it up. So this is how the controlling basic settings are needed to post any transactions. Now we'll go to, as we have done a controlling part, now we'll go to financial accounting again, and we'll go and maintain a general ledger accounting. So under general ledger accounting, we'll go to master data. Under master data we have a profit center, and under profit center we have a defined standard hierarchy for profit center. Yeah. So here first we need to activate this one. Let me explain so you have to go to this first step, then go to position, your controlling area, and select profit center accounting. So I want my company should have a profit center accounting also. Go back and define standard hierarchy for profit center accounting. Define standard hierarchy, go to the second step, and here controlling area TMCO, and give your Tata Motors profit as your standard hierarchy, or maybe, yeah, profit is fine, and save this. Okay, after that, we need to define standard hierarchy. So I am directly jumping to that step, but yeah, it's a Tata Motor standard hierarchy for PC. So this is a standard hierarchy for PC, and save this one. So this is done where we have said like standard hierarchy configuration. So profit center settings are done. Now we'll go to integration of finance. So these are all basic configurations required from a controlling side. Now we'll go to a integration happens between finance and controlling. So it will be a real-time integration happens. So for that reason, what you have to do is you have to go to financial accounting. Under that, we have a financial accounting global setting ledgers. Under ledgers, we have integration of controlling with financial accounting. So here, define document type for posting and controlling. Execute this one and check whether we have a this document type or not. So SAP is already given this document type, and this is also sometimes used. So mostly SAP use this document type for posting to link real-time transactional link between finance and controlling. So CO, and here you will see GL account and the secondary cost. For all other document types, you will mostly see this checkbox is selected. So this is by default will be there. Then next go to a document type mapping variance for CO business transaction. Go here and check. This is a standard SAP has provided, but someone has changed this to 00A00. So that is fine. So always go with the standard. Select this one business transaction, and you will see that it's a external data for us to understand better. Yeah. For example, let's say we are posting one transaction from a CO, that is a overhead cost. So that overhead cost in CO, we call it as a business transaction. Document types, we call it as a business transaction. But in finance, it is going to be a document type. So we are linking this business transaction to this document type, and these are required when we have a cross company document types. So here we are not going to do anything, but we will just cross check all the settings are proper or not. Always use the SAP standard, copy the SAP standard and create your new, that is fine. Then default value for posting in controlling area. So here, uh, whatever earlier we have seen, right? So that controlling area we have to copy. So this is the standard one. We'll ping it. So company code is TM India. So you will see that our company code is does not exist. So what we will do is we'll copy this one and we'll put our company code here, Tata Motors India, and save this. Press enter and save. Go back and define CO versions. So before this one, I was just mentioning this one, right? CO versions and all. So that is the link which we have to do here. Go here and try to find your controlling area. So it's not there. That is fine. So what you have to do is copy the standard one and give your controlling area as TM0. Keep all these basic settings version 0 and ledger 0L as it is and save. So with these two small configurations, we have defined. Okay, let me check what is this clearing account not required, this one. So with these two simple settings, we have done the link between SAP Finance and the CO. So there is a consistency check which is needed. So in this, we need to execute and check whether our company has any linkage errors or not. So just check Tata Motors India, or you can find Control F. We don't have a find option here, no issues. Just check. Do we have anywhere TM India somewhere? No, we don't have. Tata Motors India, no. So whatever you see, these are the team which they are doing. They have done small settings errors. So that might be the possibility. Yeah. So Tata Motors India has by default went to I2 and NL. So I will remove this one because I have not created any ledgers. Means I have not added I2 or NL ledgers to my company code. Okay. So for that reason, I am going to remove these settings. See, this is okay. Like we have SN, but because of all these things, we are going to face because these are all non-leading ledgers. Somebody has done the configuration such a way that it will by default we have went to I2 and NL. So I will make a note of this I2 and NL. I2 comma NL. So we'll see this is been removed. This is okay. Data is okay for us, not a problem. I'm just checking if any other issues we have or not. So I don't see here. I don't see here. I think I can use this option. No hints found, but that should have worked properly. description. Okay, these are all okay. So for these two ledgers, I have not assigned still because of the basic settings. This has went up, and why this has gone in real scenario, you will not face this kind of errors, right? So why this has come up is, so somebody has given underlying ledger 0L for I2 and NL. So for that reason, what has happened is our company code by default has been assigned to these two ledgers. So what I will do is I will remove my company code from this ledgers. Select this one, delete. In real scenario, you will not face this kind of issues. Don't be worried because you will have only one system with a very fresh implementation, or maybe a old company codes which are linked to the requirement of that specific company codes, which is already SAP. They are already using SAP in that case. Check posting already exists in the company code TM India. Okay. No postings are available. Then go back and then select the settings. Go to position. Save this one. Check if postings already exist in company code TM. Okay. We don't have any settings. But because of that error, that might be a challenge which we are going to face. Let me put some ledger here just to make some changes. Just give me a minute. To L to L. It will not allow because all the already transactions are posted. Because I don't want to mix my company code under any other ledgers. Check if postings already exist in company URL. Okay. Yeah, I don't see my company code here. Let me put. I don't see my company code here. Let me go back. Not sure whether it will delete or not because it was coming as error message. Let's go to an extension ledger. It's not get deleted. Check if postings already exist. So we don't have a exist. So SAP is asking to change the message. Yeah. So we need to change the message control for this one. If this kind of errors exist because we not yet created any master data, still it is showing as check posting already exists in company code. So I will stop here and we'll continue on the next lecture. So this is not a issue when you do it in the real scenario because it's a dummy systems. You might found this kind of entries and we not even posted any transactional data. Still it is showing up this error. Okay, thanks. So next lecture I will be solving this issue by changing the error message to a warning message, and then we'll start creating a transactional data.